Hi there, April Mack here. I'm coming to you today from Canberra. I'm finally at home. For those of you who know, I've been in Adelaide the past 2 weeks. So I must say it's very nice to be home. And today I am answering more questions that people have been throwing my way about how I've managed to achieve 5-figure months in my business. And a question that was thrown at me was, okay, so you make 5 figures a month, but how much of that is actually expenses? And what I've mentioned previously is that my expenses when I had 0 clients is pretty much the same now that I have more clients, and it's a very small amount. The only main difference is what I spend on coaching. But I'll tell you about that in a sec. So if you're watching on replay, #replay. If you're watching here live, please feel free to comment as we go and ask me any more questions. I'm sharing this information with people because it's part of my way of helping others who don't really believe that this is possible for them. I really want to open up your awareness to the fact that having a business and working part-time and doing what I've done is not rocket science, and it is totally possible, and I'm being as transparent about how I've done it as I possibly can, because I know if I can do it, so can so many others. So it is also part of my launch for a program that I am running. Starts the 9th of November. It's called Implement Like a Boss. And the reason I've called it that is because for me, what I found is I'm really good at implementing. So I can learn something new and then quickly embody it and then implement it. And I think that's been really one of the keys to my success for my growth, my rapid growth. In my business. So I want that for other people. It's 5 weeks, it's $555, it's got group coaching and training in it, and it's going to help people who feel like they've done all the learning but they just aren't getting the traction in the implementation phase. So that's what it's all about. It's really helping keep you accountable, keep you on track, make sure that you get out of your own way, because what I know to be true is that it's our mindset and our own limiting beliefs that get in our way of actually achieving what we're here to do. So that's the program. If you're interested in it, let me know and I'll give you all the details, a bit more detail than that. But in the meantime, I want to answer that question about expenses. So those of you who know, I've achieved in September my first 5-figure months, and basically from April 2020 I had no clients. And each month I just built and built and built, and I was doubling my income every single month until I hit the 5-figure month, and I'm being able to sustain that. And back in April, my expenses were pretty much the same as they are now. So my expenses in April amounted to about $200. And I'll tell you what that's made up of, and it's the same ones that I've got now. So number 1 expense is insurance. PI and PL, public indemnity and professional liability. I think that's what they stand for. Hey to anyone watching. If you are a coach and you are advising people, it's very likely that you will need PI and PL. And so that costs me about $150 a month. So that's by far my biggest expense. And when you're starting out, that seems like a lot if you've got no clients, but it's really a necessary expense to have to cover you for in the case, unlikely event that someone decides to sue you. It's really important that you have that. So if you need details of a broker, I can recommend someone, but you can find that yourself. So anyone in any business, it's worthwhile looking into what insurances you need in order to do what you do. And if you're just running a one-off in-person workshop, you probably still need insurance for that. So just look into it, and it won't break the bank. In the early days, yes, it's tricky, but it won't be for long if you get your business underway in the way that I have. The other expenses I have, one is website hosting, and that's not an essential cost, because I don't believe everyone needs to have a website. If you're using social media as your main platform, you don't even need a website. But if you really want one, you can have one, and website hosting is very inexpensive. You know, for me, I think it's a set amount. I've got WordPress website, and the website hosting cost me about, I don't know, I've got down here $5 a month, but I feel like it must be a bit more than that. But it's really minimal. I might double check that figure. Feels like 5 is not right, but it is minimal. I think I pay like a 100 and something a year. And I pay it on a yearly basis, but I just wanted to break them down to monthly. The other thing I spend money on is Zoom, and I spend $20 a month, and that's because I run a lot of courses in Zoom using Zoom. If you don't need Zoom, don't get it. You can have a free version of Zoom, but there's some limitations, so you just need to look at whether you need it or not. If you're running groups and you're doing sessions that go over 40 minutes, you would likely want to pay for Zoom, but $20 a month is pretty affordable. I also pay for cloud storage, so I have Dropbox because I need to put a lot of things, you know, got a lot of assets, lots of videos. And so at the moment I pay about $12 a month for cloud storage, but that probably will go up as the number of videos that I'm creating all the time is getting bigger and bigger. So I might need to up that soon, but it's pretty affordable. The other tool I use is called repurpose.io, and that takes videos that I create in Facebook and it can save them to my Dropbox. And that is really there as, for me, more of an insurance kind of policy, in that if something happened to my Facebook account and it got shut down for some unknown reason, or, you know, Facebook itself decided to, you know, close shop or something, it's very unlikely. I have all my videos, my lives, my course videos, all of the things that I do inside Facebook, I've got them all backed up. So I have them in Dropbox. Repurpose does that automatically. You don't have to have an application that does that. You can do it yourself. You can manually download them and put them across to your cloud storage. Or you can also use Repurpose to have your videos sent between Facebook and YouTube as well, if that's of interest to you. So then you've got content going in different places and you don't have to keep creating it in those different places. It just does it automatically. I'm not using it for that, but I probably will at some stage. So that's kind of the main, literally, because I run all my courses in Facebook groups, and I do all my promoting of my stuff on social media, and I don't pay for any ads. That is the extent of my expenses. So that amounts to just over $200 a month. Then on top of that, what I now also pay for is coaching. So I'm in a coaching membership program for $177 a month. And I also pay for one-on-one coaching around $600, sometimes a bit more, between $600 and $1,000 a month. So coaching is anywhere between $700 and $1,000. So all up, without the coaching, it's about just over $200, and then with the coaching, it's around about $1,000. So $1,000 to just over. Then on top of that, you know, I've had one-off expenses where I've had to get my branding done, which can cost you around branding between $600 to $1,000, I would say, for branding and getting all your fonts and your colors and your logos and all those sorts of things sorted. Or you can just do it the DIY way and do it yourself in Canva, and so that would be zero cost other than your time. I also had a website created, which you can pay around, you know, $400 to anywhere between $400 and $1,000 or more, depending on what you want for a website. And I've also had professional photos done, and so that, you know, depending on how many you want done, like I did a branding shoot with beautiful Tracy Murray, and that was awesome. You know, that's going to cost you around somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500. And then you'll have a whole heap of photos professional looking photos that you can use in lots of different contexts, on your social media, on your website, all different places. So that's well worth it too. But so those are the one-off costs. But the ongoing monthly costs are $200, and for me, it's, with coaching as well, it's around about $1,000. So now that I'm making over $10,000 a month, that level of expenses, $1,000, is to me, very affordable. And in the early, I didn't start out spending that amount. I couldn't afford coaching right at the beginning, but as soon as I could, I did, because that has really changed my business. There was a live I did, I think yesterday, all about why I get coaching and how it's really helped me. So I do recommend it. Other one-off costs are, for learning and courses that I've done over time, and they vary, of course. So hopefully that's helpful and helps you see that actually the business model that I'm running is very lucrative and very profitable once you know how, and that your expenses don't have to be massive. This was not always the way. I just want to quickly add in that when I started, my expenses way exceeded my income. This is a few years ago when I was taking a different approach, and I paid for ClickFunnels and Facebook ads and integrations with MailChimp, and MailChimp I was paying for, and Vimeo. I was paying for all these systems because I was trying to set up some automated bloody nightmare of a process that didn't actually really work. So now I have a very different model where my expenses are super, super low, and all my time and effort goes into actually doing the stuff I love, which is coming on here, doing lives, talking to people, coaching people, and running programs, creating and delivering new stuff all the time, which is just awesome. I love it. And I wouldn't change a thing. So that is what I've done. If you've got any questions, please do ask. And I will invite you once more to come and join me in Implement. I am an implementing queen. I'm really good at taking knowledge, really understanding it, and then doing it, actioning it. And I'm great at helping other people do the same. So if you need help with the implementation phase of what it is you're here to bring into the world, then do come and join my program. There's a link at the top of my page. The Learn More link will take you there. You can get all the details. And PM me if you've got any questions about it whatsoever. We start officially on the 9th of November. But if you join up earlier, we'll do some stuff together beforehand. So that's it from me today. Hopefully that's answered a few questions for some people. And if you have any more, do leave them and I'll come back to them later. Have a great day. Lots of love. Bye.